our final segments for the evening. This is going to be my review of Snow White. Snow White. That's what it was. Not really. Not even. It doesn't really work. Like she was great. I don't particularly care for Rachel Zegler. It doesn't bother me that she's not some pristine porcelain doll looking woman. She was fine. They even kind of gave the reason she has a stupid haircut. Like they gave me a reason and I dug that. I was like, I'm into this. I was like, the queen had her haircut off, so she looks like a little uglier comparatively. I dug it. They gave us a backstory of what happened to her dad, what happened to her mom, what's going on, who is she? I don't know what she was talking about when she said this is where like girls save themselves and there is no like boys to save them. There is, and I'm pretty sure he was Robin Hood. They never actually say it, but I'm pretty sure that they had merry men and everything. One of them had a bow staff. It was, yeah, they were there. So let's get
he a fox?
He was not a fox, but he was he was a sly devil. I'll tell you that much.
Well, you just wait. I'm sure they'll do that live action version of Robin Hood eventually. Wouldn't surprise me. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You continue.
You're not wrong though. Like they're gonna do a live action. That's like my favorite Disney animated film is that Robin Hood version. And my second favorite being Pinocchio. And I saw what they did with that. I didn't mind it as much, but at the same time, I was like, this is so unwarranted and unneeded.
That was the Zemeckis one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it has some things that you appreciate, those little Zemeckis tropes that are there. But Ziegler in this, amazing voice. She sings the songs really well. She did fine. Like they didn't give her great dialogue to work with, so it wasn't like she was nailing everything. She was but she was fine. She carried the movie. I didn't mind. She had a good back and forth of not Robin Hood. But here's what I don't get. I guess the not Robin Hood guy and his merry band of whatevers were the guys that we saw in the picture originally. Were like, oh, they're not doing dwarves, they're doing these guys. It was them. They're like a band of thieves. Stole from the rich. And he wore a green hooded jacket. Like it was all green.
Like set up a spin-off movie.
It was it could have been. It really could have been. But like that was like the love she found or whatever. I was like, fine. Here's where it gets tough for me, and that's why it's at a 2. The 2 is for the songs with Ziegler were good. That's it. Some scenes with her, I like the set that night. It felt very Disney-fied. I don't think it was needed, but they made a whole big stink about not having little people play the dwarves. I guess because whoever the fuck said something. I don't know who. I think it was Peter Dinklage, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not going to go after anybody. About not using her or exploiting them. What we got, I don't get. What we got looked like the Polar Express rejected elves. And they were trying to shoehorn him in. Like Dopey looks like Alfred E. Newman from Mad TV. Or not Mad TV, Mad Magazine. And that, not a little bit, a lot of bit.
He looks exactly like him.
But terrifying, because they're trying to make him look human. And like all of them just have giant heads like they're playing NBA Jam 1996. And it's just it's so troublesome as I'm watching this because I'm like, these aren't the cute elves that I knew, but they're singing the songs, their voices are good, and they're dancing around, and it's fine, but it's horrifying at the same time. You know what it looks like? What was his name from Masters of the Universe? The one they replaced Orko with?
Gwildor.
What is it?
Gwildor.
I've seen that movie about 6 times, and I can never remember anything except Tila. I can remember. But
remember you got me that for my birthday year.
I did, didn't I? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Masters of the Universe, baby. See, like I said, like I remember it. They looked like him. They look like him.
They look like Gwildor,
but like CGI versions. Big heads that I don't know, it just didn't work. It was scary at points, not scary like I was like but like scary in the sense
uncanny valley kind of thing.
It's like this is unsettling. Yeah, like this is just I don't want to look at this. They had a little person in the merry group of thieves. Why couldn't we have more? What was the point? Like, what? I don't even want to get into that. The worst part of this movie, and this isn't a political statement against Israel or anything else, is Gal Gadot. She is the worst part of this movie. There's one thing that I was like, she only because the outfit fits her, like the one that where it's just her face and she has the crown and everything. It's like she must have been the only one this thing fit because like that's it. Is like she looks good in this outfit. She cannot sing. She has a terrible voice. Even her scenes feel forced. She has like a dancing troupe with her. I realize it's supposed to be a musical, but like it's still kind of like she's coming down talking about how evil she is and how much she wants to rule over everybody in this, and like she has to be hard like a diamond, and like her like subjects are just dancing. They're just in on this, and I was like, okay, this is odd.
Sounds
and like
familiar. Like,
yeah,
yay, destroy everything, rule over us.
She was just,
daddy.
oh gosh, everything like she was just not enjoyable. She was not a good. She just wasn't a good adversary. She wasn't a well-written villain. They tried to expand on who she was, but it was like the most hollow thing you can think of. Like she wants to be beautiful because people will listen to her if she's beautiful, and she can keep them all safe. And it's bonkers. The whole reasoning behind her whole premise is bonkers and stupid. And like the movie really suffered by her being in it. I think if you were really going to take this movie seriously, you would have written a better bad guy backstory and like cast like a Kate Blanchett in, older stepmotherly type, beautiful, had a movie come out the same weekend as you and she looked phenomenal. So like, if you're thinking about beauty, and I can, no offense, I can understand half of what she's saying. I can't understand Gal Gadot when she is like pressing or singing and things like that, like really like high dialogue ready to go. It breaks up with her accent. Now, should that keep her out of certain roles? Yes, in musicals. Sorry.
Well, I mean, speech. They do speech and accent training all the time for actors.
If they did it in the Israeli dialect, I'm sure she would be fine. And that's not putting her down or her dialect. But it was like, this is a musical. You're singing, and you're the main villain in Snow White. You're singing. Like it's gonna happen. And it just wasn't up to task. I don't know how this movie got made the way it did. I don't know how this movie ballooned to where it was. I gave it a 2 because I could tell people who worked on it hard. And Zegler was good. I give her credit. She was very good in it. Other than that, when it's streaming, I would say watch this. Like, there's no point in going to the theater to watch this. There's no point in paying to rent to watch this. It's not. I would almost I think James said back here, the 2019 Lion King is still the worst. I'd almost disagree with you because at least that was basically the same story. It was pointless, but at least it was the same story. And I got James Earl Jones as Mufasa again. Right there, that's going to put a point above this. It just overall was just a tough movie. And I don't want to talk about it anymore. So if you watch this as a clip, go watch the whole show because we got a lot more coming. But next up,